Okay, here we are. We're live. All right. Hi, everybody. Hi, Bleeding Kansas. Thank you for whoever's joining us. Welcome to my bedroom. There's a lot of people in my bedroom that you can't see right now. Chris and baby Autumn are here, my husband Michael, my son Josh. So we're all hanging out in my bedroom, and that is for a reason. And that's because, like I put up the post before the other day to show you that a lot of times this is my office, because I know a lot of people who are sick and or possibly disabled don't feel like they can contribute a lot because they say, I really can't do much, I'm not physically able. And a lot of people feel really bad about that because they really want to help with the cause. So my whole thing is to show you that a lot of times on my bad days, this is my office. So we can all contribute. There's something for everybody to do. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and so we desperately need everybody to help, and that can be you. So I know this feed is a little rough this time. I promise you we're going to get better with the technology, and we have some wonderful equipment that was donated. We're going to start utilizing that as well. But for this first time, we're doing just a real rough go at it so we can start to have a conversation. There are people monitoring the comments. Maybe not just yet. I don't know. Josh, are you monitoring comments now? Okay, so the comments will be monitored, and Chris will be on monitoring them too in just a little bit. And so if you have a question or a comment about anything that I say, or just put it on the comments, and Chris will either try to reply to you at that time, or if she thinks it's something that everybody would want to know about, she'll let me know your question and we'll get to it. Okay, so first of all, I asked the board members for some of their priorities and goals for us to talk about. And I got some good response, and I think we should start there because a lot of what they have as priority and goals, I did as well. So let's see what you think. Tracy, our treasurer, Tracy, Sophie's mom, says that education for legislators, for the legislators, is important. It is very important, and we really wanted to do an educational forum this year. We wanted to bring in Dr. Bob Melamede. Some of you know that name, some of you don't. He heads up cannabis science. He's a wonderful scientist. He is internationally known in the field of cannabis science, and that's the name of the company too, is Cannabis Science. But we wanted to bring him in and have an educational forum and invite the House and the Senate in. And of course, we can't do the fancy, we don't have the lobbying budget that everybody else has. So we were just going to kind of do our own kind of catering thing, invite him to a down home, like Sunday church picnic kind of lunch, and actually that went over really good. Speaker of the House Hawkins thought it was great. I asked him what his favorite dinner was for, Chris and I did ask him what his favorite dinner was at a Sunday church picnic, and he said fried chicken. And I said, well, we will get you some fried chicken. So that's something that we would still like to see happen at some point, is we would like to host an educational forum. And there is a facility right on the grounds, very close to the Capitol, so it would be very convenient for them to come for a luncheon symposium and sit through a seminar, and we feed them. So that's going to take fundraising goals, and we'll get to that in a little bit, though. That's another thing we would like to do. Oh, it's in the, it's on either the page and it's in the group. Okay, sorry. Quick question. Okay, so where was I? Okay, and then the education for the general population. This brings us to another really important goal that we have had since the beginning, but we are so swamped with other projects, we have a really hard time getting to this one, but it is vital. We need what we call the town hall, the traveling town hall meeting. And what that's going to be is we need someone, preferably a team of people, to work together, because it's quite a bit of work. Now, I started it quite a while ago, but I have not had time to get back to it. What that's going to be is basically a PowerPoint kind of presentation that'll be downloadable from our website and available to people. And what you'll be able to do is download that and then play that on your laptop at, let's say, a library room that you get, at a Rotary Club meeting, a Moose Club meeting, what is a Lions? I'm trying to think of all the clubs. But anyways, something like that, you know, or at your church, at whatever kind of gathering, your Zumba class, I don't know. But whoever wants to hear about cannabis and the laws in Kansas, we would have this downloadable town hall presentation that people would be able to download. And it would have the PowerPoint presentation, and with it, printable slide sheets, you know, they can take notes for each slide. And then it would be very easy for the person wouldn't have to really do anything. You play the presentation, the notes are there with the slide, then you hand out the brochures and the information. If there's any questions that you couldn't answer at the time, you can always refer them back to the group or to, you know, to a member of the board. So it would be something really easy, and it would allow us to reach the westernmost part of the state. It would be something we could do to really start educating the public. But we need volunteers, what I call gatekeepers, right? We need people to own these projects and step forward and say, I can do that, I can work on that. So we would need a town hall meeting, you know, group of people to own this project and really work on it with some guidance from the board. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in doing, and you see how vital and important that is for us to educate the voters of Kansas, then I would say, please step forward, make a note right now, hey, I'm interested in that town hall thing. That's going to be really important. If you'd like to work on the educational forum for the legislators, step forward now and say, I want to do what I can to help on hosting an educational forum for the legislators. We need that help too. So these are big projects. They're extremely important if we're going to get this law passed. And it will take every single one of us. So if you're physically able, and if that's something you do, or again, working on your laptop at home in bed, that's fine too. These are some really big, important projects that we have. Also, in light of what happened with Shauna, Tracy makes a suggestion that we get a copy of current Kansas DARE curriculum and begin to review that and see what it states in it about cannabis, and that maybe there's a way we can actually appeal and address that as well, especially because we've had exploding science come out just the last 2 weeks. We've had some really huge things come out, including the NIDA admitting now that cannabis does kill cancer and fight some kinds of tumors. That was really huge. Okay, so those are some suggestions. And then Tracy also says work on support from the medical community. That's something that's also been really big for us. Now, there's a problem we run into with the medical community. I'm sure many of you have run into this too. You guys remember I was sick with the kidney stuff for quite a while. Well, my ER doctor was actually fabulous. I'm not going to say her name, but she took one of our bracelets and was very honest to say that she brought cannabis oil in from Colorado for her mother who was dying of cancer. And she told me that every ER doctor that she knows would be supportive of our cause, because she said to me, and I quote, "We don't treat marijuana overdose, we treat opiate overdose. And anything that is going to help people manage pain and not kill them," she said, any doctor that really cares about patients is going to support that. Now, I'm not the only one who's heard these kind of things. You've heard them too from other doctors. So why is it that doctors don't come forward? Well, and that's Baby Autumn. Everybody say, hi, Baby Autumn. That's for a very good reason. Now, I got this information from David Mulford the other day, and there's a reason why doctors can't talk. And even though that's always thrown in our face, you know, the only signed letter we've been able to get so far is from Autumn's pediatrician saying that she needed the cannabis oil for her seizures. Well, there's a reason why doctors can't come forward and say that they support cannabis, or that they want to recommend cannabis. They sign a contract, and we know the name of that contract. And I'm going to actually approach some doctors and see if we can get a copy of this contract so we can show legislators, as David called it, as a straw man theory. You know, well, if doctors were for this, wouldn't they be here testifying with you? They can't. They're not able to, and that's for a legal reason. They can actually be sued for that. So one of our missions with the medical community is to verify and document this contract, and to use that then to bust that theory with the legislators. So if you are married to a doctor, if you're friends with a doctor, if you're a doctor, make some inquiries. We need a copy of that contract, and we need to know what it entails. And that's going to be a huge, that's baby Autumn playing with the Elmo phone. So that's going to be integral in our answer to the legislators about where is the medical community of Kansas in this fight, because we can tell them till we're blue in the face how much our doctors support what we're doing. But if we don't have doctors there to testify, you know, it's not going to matter. So if we can show this is why my doctor's not here to testify, then they will get it. Okay, so does that make sense? That's something that we're working on. I really don't want to say too much more about it here, but if you think you have an inroad into the medical community and to speaking to doctors and that kind of thing, then I need you to follow up and contact me and Chris. Okay? Thank you. Tracy also brings up the point, work on recruiting the people with the money that influence the lawmakers. And so, yeah, we need that. Those circles with like the Cokes and who else does she have? The Riftons. I don't move in those circles. I don't know if you know anybody who does move in those circles. I don't know if you have any roads or paths to those people that sit in those very powerful and expensive seats. If you do, then again, contact us. Okay, because it would be good if we could talk to them and find out how we could possibly make some contact there. Okay, we've heard that maybe the Cokes aren't so as unfriendly to cannabis as we've heard since they lean to libertarian. Don't know about that, but we, you know, if you have a road in there, let's talk. Okay. Tracy brings up, since medical cannabis is on the Democratic Party platform, focus on getting conservatives and Republicans on board. Remember, lots of them grew up in the DARE program and have inaccurate information. Exactly. And that's, again, why the educational forum is so important. If you're a registered Republican, I am. If you're a registered Republican, then this takes us contacting party leadership. And maybe even some of us considering running for office. Maybe, I don't know, but we definitely have to put pressure on the party leadership. We have to put pressure on our Republican representatives, yeah, and say, hey, I'm a Republican, I vote for you, I'm a member of this party, and I don't support incarcerating and persecuting the sick, the suffering, and the dying, and I don't want my tax dollars going there. So if you're a Republican, then maybe that's something we need to think about, how we want to deal with the Republican caucus, how we want to reach out to within the party. So again, brainstorm. Brainstorm, and if you have ideas about how to get with the Republicans, then contact us. Okay.
David Otto has a question.
Okay.
What is the name of the contract? What is the name of the contract?
I believe it's called the MEEK contract. I don't know if that's MEAK, MEEK. I'm not sure, but I believe it's called the MEEK contract. Okay. Fundraisers. Wow. Do we need fundraisers? Now, I brought up a vote in the group last week. I only got 4 responses. So that was just an idea I had throwing out there. I don't have time to spend on fundraising. I really wish I did. I don't. Chris and I just don't. So we really need someone to step up, and especially with experience in fundraising, and own fundraising. I mean, you still have to work with the board. You still have to, you know, the board has to give you directions on things. That's how it goes. But there's just too much other stuff that we're working on all the time. I came up with give Bleeding Kansas a high five, like $5. So whether you donate $5, $15, $25, $35, $45, $55, $25 grand, I don't know. But whatever, you know, I thought give Bleeding Kansas a high five was good. It's a little corny, but you know, we could come up with some good graphics, which brings up another point. We do need some design help. Are you good with graphics? Are you good with memes? We need some good memes. And if you're good with graphics, we need help with that. Website help. I need help with the website. I rarely get to get over there and do everything that needs to get done. I managed to get the calendar caught up. I managed to update some things here and there, but it is not fresh. I don't have the time to keep it that way. It's pretty much a stagnant site for people to go and refer to. But I would like to see it kept fresh and updated. It's not hard to do. It's a builder that's independent on its own. So if you knew how to use it, it's really not that difficult. It's just somebody who has the time and the laptop. So if that's you and you'd like to help me with the website, then please contact me. And that also, what was I going to say about that? I don't know. I lost that thought. It just dribbled out that air right there. I was going to say something about, the forums and the blogs. Yes. So let's go ahead and talk about the website. I originally started writing blogs for the website. Again, I just really don't have time. What I would really like up there is patient stories, parent stories, that kind of thing. So if you have a story, and you all do, how did you wind up in this crazy cannabis movement? Because I have a story how I got here. You have a story how you got here. Please take the time, just write that story down and send it to me and say it's for the blog, and I'll get it up on the blog. Or if there's an article that comes out and you're really ticked off about this article, or you're really like celebrating this new science that is just fantastic with cannabis, write something about it and I'll put it in the blog. It doesn't have to be long, but it would help us if we had that blog continually going. Also, there's forums on there for discussion as well amongst people. People don't use it as much as the Facebook group. We just seem to really be centered on our Facebook group. But there are forums on there, so feel free to start a discussion thread and reach out to other people. Now, not everybody in our Facebook group is a member of our website. We would really like it if everybody in the Facebook went to join the website. That would be awesome. And it's real simple. It's just join bleedingkansas.com. And you can join as a member there and then utilize the forums right for the blog. So if you haven't gone and checked our website out, go and check it out. If you have feedback on it about what works and what doesn't, then let me know. It's kind of just been me being scrappy and doing the best I can with it. But so I would like fresh blogs on there, and I would like more people to participate in the website. So just let me know with the website. Okay, and fundraisers, again, whoever's got ideas, whoever's used to doing that, whoever can kind of pull that off, let me know. It is not my deal. If I was selling advertising, and coming up with a marketing scheme, to raise funds, sure, I gotcha. But just general fundraising, like silent auctions and stuff like that, nah, I don't know that. So I need someone to do that. The informational forums, we just talked about that. We really want to do that with the town hall and with the legislators. The PowerPoint. Chris brings up a good point. We need more printing people. Do you have any people that are willing to donate print copy? I'll just let you know, all of our beautiful brochures, and if you haven't seen our brochures, let me see if I can do this. I don't know about even working. I don't know. There's the cover. Yay. There, it's focusing now. Bleeding Kansas. And inside you'll see, we'll give it a second to focus again. Oh, look, it's all of our lovely, beautiful patients that we love. Right? And so they're not super, super fancy, And right here on the back is the Epilepsy Foundation statement, which I was so glad the reporter in the Star article quoted this down here, made Voth look like an idiot. So, well, that doesn't take much work. But so usually Chris is got one source that she's using for all of our printing, and that's on a trade basis. So that we're kind of wearing out that source is basically what I'm saying. So if you have somebody else that works at Kinko's, that works at whatever print stuff, I don't know. I always just use FedEx Kinko's, but if they work at a print store and you think they'd be willing to donate some printing for a couple thousand brochures, please let us know. We desperately need printing. She just did several thousand brochures and flyers. We were out flyering every night last weekend, and we were also putting brochures out with the flyers. So too bad we're not growing hemp, because I feel guilty for killing the trees, but we need to kill the trees to spread the word right now. So if you know someone, printing source, get with us. Okay. So we covered the blog and the website because Chris was talking about that too, and she understands. She hasn't got hers in yet either, but you know, the vice president, she's a little busy. So I think we'll excuse Chris if she can't get to writing her blog right now, right? Since we've just been doing back-to-back events and all kinds of other stuff. And Shauna, that took a lot of effort and still does on a daily basis. We have to make sure that we stay right on that at all times. Okay, donors to donate regularly or donate items to raffle, that kind of thing. So again, with the Bleeding Kansas High Five, that give Bleeding Kansas a high five, that would have been a monthly donation. Can you donate $5 a month to Bleeding Kansas? Can you donate, you know, $25 a month to Bleeding Kansas? That would have been the regular monthly donor kind of idea. If you have other ideas for that, if you have things that can be raffled off or auctioned, even on our website, that kind of thing, maybe you own a beauty salon. And I can give someone a $35 value haircut for free, you know, if they donate this or whatever, or we raffle it off or something like that. If you have a service or a good or something you would like to donate for a raffle or an auction, again, just step up. We need you, so just please contact us and let us know. The YouTube channel. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Obviously, we're just learning all this stuff and we're just figuring it all out. We finally have our camera, which I could not figure out how to hook up to the laptop this time. So we're just doing this really laggy kind of weird thing going on tonight. But we will have the camera up, and Michael Mount gave us a wonderful donation. We have a mic, and we have a mic stand, and we have a tripod now. And so we're going to expand on that. We need to start filming patients. So again, if you're willing, if you're a parent and you're willing to have your story told, if you're a patient and you're willing to have your story told, then please just contact us and let us know. We're going to have to really work to get proficient with all of that equipment. You know, another thing on our list, but Chris and I will figure it out. We're going to have to get this nailed down, and because we need those stories up on our YouTube. I don't think everybody knows, too, the amount of social media that I manage for Bleeding Kansas. We have the Facebook, the face page, or the Facebook group, the Facebook page. I have Twitter, which I work very, very hard because that's really important in making connections and spreading our word, and especially we've made good relationships with other Kansas political groups, the Moderate Party of Kansas, Women for Kansas, I'm trying to think of but other good Kansas press and bloggers through there. So that's been really important for us. We also have a Google Plus, we have an Instagram, and we have a Vimeo and our YouTube.
We have a meetup. We have a MeWe.
Yeah, a meetup and a MeWe. I mean, come on. Chris and I could spend all day, every day, just managing social media. So if you also have time maybe to help volunteer or do some social media, that would be great. But if we did hear about there's a possibility of maybe somebody who does have some filmmaking experience coming in to help us. I do post, because I do belong to some Kansas filmmaker groups, and I do go in and post and tell them we're looking for someone to help make a documentary of our struggle for civil rights in Kansas, because that's what it is. It's a civil rights issue. And I let them know that cannabis docs are selling very good on Netflix, and that there's even now, we learned this week, a cannabis film festival that just came out, which is new. So there's lots of potential for somebody that has interest in that. So again, do you know a filmmaker? Do you know someone who does documentaries? Do you know people who are experienced in any of that kind of stuff? We could just use the advice and the help if they don't even want to come in, and if we still have to do it ourselves, we will, but it would be nice to have someone just help us out a little, you know. We're kind of jack of all trades and master of none with this thing, you know. We do the best we can, but it would be nice to have some help there too. Okay, so contacting clubs, companies, etc. that would like to have us for a forum. So like we said, the Rotary clubs, the Lions clubs, the Elks clubs, the Moose Club. Did I say Lions already? Mm-hmm. Okay. The Lions, the Elk, the Moose, the Rotary, you know, that kind of thing. Those kind of clubs. Also, I need someone to own the vets. What we really need is what we really need are gatekeepers, people who come in and take ownership of your part of the state. Where is it that you live? Is it very sparsely populated? Well, maybe you could own your whole county. Maybe you need to own 2 counties, right? If you can own that space for Bleeding Kansas, that would help us so much. We can make sure that you have the brochures you need or the information you need, and once the PowerPoint's done, that you have the PowerPoint that you need. We can teach you how to compile a list of your local press and make sure you're reaching out to your local press with the Bleeding Kansas press releases that I post. How you can manage your territory and own it for Bleeding Kansas. Just imagine you're running around with a little Bleeding Kansas flag and you pop it down. Take this for Bleeding Kansas. Okay, that was really, but you get what I'm saying. So we need people to take ownership of their section of Kansas and own it for Bleeding Kansas. And so if you're willing to do that, to be a territorial representative, I don't know what you call it, but a territorial representative for Bleeding Kansas, that would be great. So we need people but we also need people to own groups. I need someone who can reach out to senior citizens. Do you have a gift with seniors? Have you worked in the field with senior citizens? Do you know people who work in those kind of fields and that kind of thing? We really need to reach out to the senior groups, AARP and things like that here locally. Within Kansas, we need to reach out to the senior community. Those are the by the CBS poll and the Pew poll that just came out this week. By demographic, the older voters are still the ones they're not getting as much of the science and the research. The younger voter is up on it. They're good to go. But the older voter, we still need to be able to reach out and educate them about the science, and they desperately need it. If your mom's like my mom or your grandma's like my mom, whatever, my mom's 88, the pharmaceuticals that they're on, it's horrible. So they need to hear about cannabis, that there's a safer choice for them with managing their pain or their other conditions. My mom at 88 asked her doctor about cannabis, and I thought it was a really good kind of country doctor answer. He was like, a lot of people are these days. So it was pretty non-committal, but okay. And do we have an attorney yet? That was a question. No, we don't have an attorney yet. So if you know an attorney that might want to work with the group, let us know. And we just said memes and event flyers. Now, most of the event flyers and memes and stuff like that, I've done all the design work because that's what I used to do in another lifetime. But again, other people that can help do design work, that's something we desperately need. Okay. We talked about social media and PowerPoint for the town halls. Oh, let's talk about letters to the editor. We tried to get this off the ground one time before. Something really easy you can do from home if you don't have a lot of physical ability and that kind of thing. A lot of letters to the editor can be posted online on certain media websites. And we can still go back, and we came up with some wording at one time. I think April or Brittany, some people came up with some wording for us, because you have to keep it to about 200 to 250 words is usually max for letter to the editor. But you would be able just to go onto their websites and post these letters to the editor through an electronic submission. So you don't even have to write anything out, really. It's like once you got the text from us, you could personalize it how you wanted to personalize it, and then literally just copy and paste into your press. And and once you get the rhythm down, you learn the template and whatever, you're going to learn the outline basically of how to do this. Then just as news breaks, issues break, whatever, and your confidence builds and everything, you could submit, say, hey, I want to go put this letter to the editor out. We'll take a look at it, put the little stamp on it, boop, it's good to go, and you can send it out. Letters to the editor are another way you can reach to the people in your area and inform them. So that's something that somebody with limited ability can also do. A lot of the stuff you'll see is on the computer. It's stuff you can do from home. Spreadsheets, those are important. We need member contact info. We need to start gathering that, because when we're trying to get volunteers together for an event, we need spreadsheets of parades and festivals that are upcoming, and we need an updated media list. So those are some spreadsheets and some serious research. Before, again, that's always been me, and because I am the research queen and I love me some spreadsheets, but I don't have time for that. I really don't. And so those are really important. Again, we need parades and festivals. We need an updated media list, and someone to start gathering member contact info so that we can be able to get in touch with people besides just Facebook. Okay, and we talked about the gatekeepers for outreach to vets, seniors, the medical community, legislators, Native Americans. We don't want to leave that out. We're really missing an opportunity with reach out to the smaller tribes in Kansas.
We still need an accountant, Tracy says.
Oh, and we still need an accountant. Our treasurer just let us know we need an accountant. Can you hear me? I think you can. No, that's okay. That's just on. That's piano. She is playing you some music, so I hope you can hear me. So we still need an accountant. We need someone to reach out to Native Americans. We need someone to reach out to faith groups. Colleges is a big thing. We're having a hard time getting on colleges. We're being blocked by their administrations. And I believe that's true, and even reaching out to the college media, because I was in college media, and my group, we love to bust open really good, juicy stories, but we're not getting a response from college media. And I think, again, we're being blocked there. So we need access to campuses, and we need people who can go out and work those campuses. And that is vital to get those young voters. I mean, I don't think I have to convince you how important that is. So let me know if you can reach out to college campuses and to help us capture those young voters. That's very important. I usually have to apply through. She wants to play with Autumn. Now Hattie's going to come in. She wants to play with Autumn. You have to usually apply through someone who is the administrator over student life. And then what they do is they send out the information to the groups and orgs on campus. And they say, hey, this group wants to come on campus. Do you want to sponsor them? I don't know how that information is disseminated, each and every time. I don't know that it's getting out to every club and org. So I don't know what the blockage has been with us reaching campuses, but it is really frustrating. It's also really important. We have to reach those young people and get those young voters. So if I have some people willing to step up, make some phone calls, do some research, call the campuses, around the state, find out how we get sponsored in to host an educational forum, to host a debate. Do they want one of us to debate Voth? Okay. I'll put Tracy against Voth any day. How about you, Chris? I just volunteered our treasurer to go up and debate Voth, but, or Mulford. Let's just watch Mulford make toast out of Voth. That would be entertaining. But, we need to be on those campuses, but I don't have time to make those phone calls, every day. So phone calls, that's something you can do from bed. So maybe you could do some research, gather a list of the colleges, and start information gathering for us. We could really use that. Reaching out to other political groups. Now, I do this on Twitter and Facebook and through email a lot. Women for Kansas has been really good to us. The Moderate Party of Kansas has been really good for us. And we all love our libertarians. And we know when they issued the statement for Shauna that had some effect within Kansas. Other Kansas political groups took notice and paid attention of that. But it would be really good if we had someone who was in charge of that kind of outreach and monitoring it regularly. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's better if we have gatekeepers for each of these rather than trying to leave all of this up to just a very few handful of people. I think then you see that the workload is just too great for a handful of people to do. And what that ultimately means is that something is not going to get done. And what that ultimately means is that our cause is going to suffer, and we're not going to make the progress that we need to make. And so for us to make this progress, we really need people to become committed with their time. And so if you can own any of these outreaches, if you can do nothing else but make phone calls and look stuff up on the computer, I got lots of work for you. So just get in touch with me. The faith groups too. Does somebody want to work in the Christian community? I've tried working within the Jewish community. I will try again at some point, but again, I don't have time to keep chasing them. I tried initially to make contact with all kinds of faith groups. I think you remember in the beginning, that's why I wrote the letter to Steve D'Angelo, because the Buddhists even told us they couldn't really do much about it. It was Kansas. And you know, if the Buddhists don't feel you have much hope, you know, if you can't get a Buddhist to come out and march with you, I don't know what to tell you. So that's how bad Kansas was at that point. Maybe it's getting better now. So we need someone to go in and try to refresh and renew those relationships. A lot of these organizations, if you go and look, it's in their platform, in their group statement, in their missions, whatever, they have voted and listed that they support medical cannabis. Reform Judaism does, Buddhism has, the Universalists, is that what I'm saying? The Unitarians and Universalists, you know, they have voted and supported medical cannabis. As far as I know Kylie Klug was working on this for us too, that Catholics don't stand opposed to medical cannabis in the cases where it's needed. They consider that a thing of compassion and mercy. And Kylie was working on something there for us for a while. I think we have a 4-bishop council over Kansas, as far as I understand, and I think Kylie had 2 of those bishops in support of medical cannabis, and so I don't know where she is on the other 2. Obviously,
Tracy says people with Greek contacts can reach out to the
colleges. The Greek, right? Okay, thank you, Tracy. So if you are from a fraternity and a sorority, would you work your Greek family for us? Could you reach out to your sisterhood or to your brotherhood and see about getting us in to talk to your Greek family? So that's a great idea. Thank you, Tracy, for that. We need people to work on revamping SB9. Our CCA has some holes in it, and we need to kind of do a bill study of the bills that are going on around and what they're made up of and how they're different than ours. And not everything that works everywhere will work in Kansas. We understand what we're up against here, right? Kansas was the next to the last state to repeal alcohol prohibition. So, and we still have many dry counties in Kansas. Okay, so we need to look at what's out there, and then we also need to decide what's best for us. There's a few things in our group that we all agree on and we're all pretty hardcore on, and those are education, testing the cannabis and the regulation, keeping things organic, keeping things pesticide free, making sure that those regulations and that each patient is getting the purest and cleanest product, and also then with the testing beyond that with the full spectrometry, so that we know the level of all the cannabinoids. We also all agree about the education of those who are going to work in compassion centers or dispensaries. We want those people, anybody who's working with patients needs to be educated about cannabis. We're also passionate about opening up and making sure that those continuing education credits are available in a broad way to the medical community. We know that that's going to be really important when we do a rollout. These doctors have not been educated on cannabis science. They're not going to recommend it if they don't know the science. So one thing that I saw in the, I think it was the interim bill, it was either the interim bill for New York or it was, oh shoot. Anyway, I put it on Bleeding Kansas here recently. But so look for it on the Bleeding Kansas news feed. There was a state that their whole medical cannabis approach was based on education. And I had just posted that not too long ago, but I really wanted us to look on that bill. I think I even put it in the group. We really needed to look at that because their whole approach was based on education. And written into that was educating the doctors and educating the people. So that seemed, I put that in the group because it seemed like something that was hit very close to home for what we want to see happen.
David wants to know what is CCA.
Oh, the Cannabis Compassionate Care Act. That's our bill, the Cannabis Compassionate Care Act, SB9. So SB9, we need to go in and review it. Obviously, it's not going to the floor this year, not in House or in Senate. It doesn't really look like Wilson's Otis Reed bill, which is just the CBD cannabis oil, is going to make it to the floor this year either. That's being blocked by the Senate President and the House Majority Leader because in light of everything else that's going on in Kansas with the budget. I mean, I don't know if you've been watching the tweets from the committee hearings this week. It's a bloody battle, and their Brownback has handed them a real hot mess to deal with, and they're going to have to work that out. So they're really highly focused in crunch time with budget issues right now. I don't see the Otis Rebuild making it to the floor this year. I wish it would, but I don't see it happening. It may still. I mean, by all means, keep emailing Susan Wagle, the president of the Senate, and keep, you know, sending stuff to the majority leader. See how it goes. But I don't see that one making it to the floor this year. So what we need to do then is use the summer to see if we can work with Senators Haley and Finney, and if we can revamp CCCA, the Cannabis Compassionate Care Act, before next year. And we need to, I like Tracy's idea too, instead of maybe every year we go in with our heartbreaking patient stories and our science, and we get nowhere with these people. Maybe if we answer the rebuttals of our opponents first and strike the first blow before they even get to say anything, that might be a good approach too. But we need to revamp the bill and see where it's falling short in our expectations. And then we also need to look to see what our opponents' arguments are with the bill, and we need to have our arguments ready back for that. So if we don't get Otis Reed's bill on the floor this year, then we just have to get extra focused on working with Finney and Haley to revamp and build the best bill that we can do. Also, we have invited. We've been posting for Anonymous. I think you see that Anonymous headquarters ran a story on Shauna, and we've tried to make sure that was on the Anonymous forums as well and into the Anonymous news groups. So that might help get some people out to the march. So if I don't see you Saturday, hopefully we'll have some good pictures and some good reports to share with everybody on that. I'm sorry, I'm moving around so much. My butt hurt. So I just said that. That just happened. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we'll have those pictures and those updates for you. And then once the march is over, it's time to get ready for Cruise for the Cure, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody's going to have to help on that, and that's going to be statewide. That's statewide across Kansas. That's going to be going from Denver to KC. So again, we need those territorial managers who are going to bite off a chunk of Kansas in their area.
We have people that need to set up events along that stretch.
Okay, Chris is saying we need people to set up events all along that trail coming down from Denver to KC. So we're really going to need people to own their territories. Just pretend like it's yours and own that territory is what we're really going to need.
Anybody who has questions about setting up events and how to make it go smooth can contact me.
Yeah, here, Chris. Say hi.
I've done
Climb up on my bed, Chris.
I've done enough of the
Chris, come get in bed with me. Okay, here she is.
Sweetheart.
There she is. Okay.
I really
yes, there she is. Okay, sweetie. So tell them about setting up the events if they need to set up an event.
Okay, when it comes to the Cruise for Cannabis, anybody who wants to take over on an event across the state, if you need help or have questions on how to set up an event, how to make it go smoothly, contact me. I've done so many of them that I can help you, and I can give you instructions on how to make it be successful.
Okay. So after the march, which if we survive that, if we're still walking for a few days, I don't know what's going to happen there.
We might have to take a day.
Yes, that won't happen. But it's a nice thought. It won't happen.
Yeah, it's a nice thought.
We've tried making the rule that we had weekends off for our family. Yeah, we try to stick with that, but summer season, fall festival season, parade season, all those seasons really kind of kick our butt. Oh, also, if you know someone who's going to have booths at events, we can't really pay for booths. We just don't have that kind of donation flow coming in. But would they be willing to put some of our brochures out on a table that they already have at a booth? Okay? So, or if you have a little fall festival or summer festival of some sort in your area, let us know. And we can, if we have, brochures printed, we can try to get you brochures.
Local concerts. I have found local musicians.
Climb up on this bed, girl. Let me talk about it. In the background, I can't hear you.
Well, I'm trying to keep an eye on Baby Autumn, too. Concerts, local music venues have been so receptive to letting you set up your own table. You can put a tablecloth on the table, put out brochures, have information, have wristbands to sell. Just collect donations, bring awareness and education. A lot of times I'll go to a local show, sit in the back of the room while the band's playing. While they're in intermission, I'm running around the crowd, handing out. You don't even necessarily have to have a table. Go to every event you can go to, and when you go to an event, take the brochures with you.
They're always in my purse. Aren't they always in your purse?
They're always in my
They're always in my purse, yeah. So, but again, see, that's printing cost. We always have brochures, and we're wearing out poor Chris's person just with that and with flyers. The brochure is downloadable. It's in the group under the Files tab. You just go and click on Files, and it'll open up. You'll see everything I've ever uploaded, and you can find the brochure in there, and you can download it for printing yourself. You can email it, to a printer. Yeah, so we need to have presence at everything we can have presence at statewide. So again, that takes people taking ownership of their county. Judy Prawl just joined the group not too long ago, and she told me, I'm going to own Doniphan County. So I loved her attitude, and that's where I took it from. So I need everybody to be like Judy and own your county. And if it's out way west and there's not a lot of people, then own 2 or 3 counties, how that needs to go. Well, we're way over time. We did start a little bit late, but we're over time. I don't want to keep you any longer than that. Those are the issues that we have. Some big outreach things that we really have got to get rocking and rolling. So after the march this weekend, it's Cruise for the Cure. We're going to need people to own territory statewide, plan events, and help manage press and make sure that we have brochures and flyers, things, and working that event in their area. So that's obviously for the physically abled. Now, if you're not physically abled and someone takes ownership of a place in your area, you can help them get the word out to the press. There's lots of things you can do from home to help promote and help organize that event just from, again, your bed with a laptop. So whoever is going to own a territory, we would like someone to step up and say, I own this territory, and then that would be the person we could point everybody else in that area to, right? Let's say Tracy wants to own Wichita. I don't know that you have that much money, Tracy, but if you wanted to own Wichita, we would say, okay, everybody, Tracy's in charge of the Wichita area or that whole county, right? Sedgwick, right? So anything that was going on in Sedgwick County, Tracy would run, and be helping to organize for that county. That's kind of what we need to do, because people pop up in little areas and I don't know what to do. Well, it's really hard for us to manage someone that far away and to really help them the way that we need to. We need someone in geographical location. You see where I'm going with this, to those people. All right, well, that's going to do it for our first ever broadcast. Thank you for staying with me and baby Autumn and Chris for our first ever really rough broadcast. We promise from now on it's going to get better looking, and we're going to have news stories for you, and we're going to have patient stories, and we're going to have interviews, and we're going to have really cool, exciting stuff. Just be patient with us moms, because as you see, a lot of times we're
if they wanted to get done faster, take some of the slack off of
No, Chris, you heard it from Chris. I'm not going to argue with her. She said, if things need to get done faster, we need more people to help. That's honestly the truth, guys. There are groups working all across Kansas, and we need to network with those groups. But some of those groups own different cogs in the wheel. You know what I'm saying? They're working on sometimes some pretty political things. They're working on stuff behind doors. They're moving in other circles than what we're moving in. We're really wanting to get the public. That's what we're after. We're educating, and we're out to get the public, and we're out to reach those who are sick and suffering with the good news of cannabis. So that's really our cog in this wheel. So if you can own a piece of Kansas for Bleeding Kansas, if you can own a project, if you can own a people group that needs to be reached out to, whatever it is, whatever you can own, whatever you can do, the time is now. You saw from Shauna's case, that could be any one of us any day. And we cannot continue to let this happen. And we can post angry posts on Facebook all day long. We can bemoan our fate, and that won't change it. We have got to do the work. And if you don't believe it's work,
sign up for something.
You need to come and hang out with some people. It is a lot of work. And the people who've been in it for many years will tell you it's a lot of work, and that's why people get burnt out. So the more people we have step forward and own, I'm sorry, I just have all kinds of hair in my eyes. The more people we have step forward and own those pieces, you know, the less chance we have of burning out the people that we have doing it. So that's it. I'm not trying to bash anybody or twist an arm or whatever. It's just if we all feel passionate about this and we all want this to succeed and happen, I'm just saying this is what it's going to take. It really is. There's a lot of work that we need to be doing, and it's going to take all of us to get it done. And so anyway, you know, I love you guys. I love you so much. I love every single one of you, and I'm really proud of all the work that all of you do. And I'm so proud of our group for what you did with Shauna. That just touched my heart. I was so blessed by that. We have wonderful, good people in our group. I'm very blessed to know all of you and to know your stories. And since the Casey article came out, my phone and my email have been blowing up with other people telling me their stories and reaching out. Today we had a family come forward with a dad who just was diagnosed within the last 2 weeks with stage 4 lung cancer. So, and we have more people reaching out with their stories. And so people need the good news of cannabis, and then they want to know what they can do to change the law. We're the ones that are going to bring that news to them. So. All right. Well, I love you guys. You know I do. I love you so much. Thank you for joining us tonight, putting up with all of our whatever it is we're doing right now. And I promise we'll get better. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Hope has no zip code, right? Okay. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Kansas lost another little girl just this week. You saw David's post put up with cancer. It's another life we could have saved if her family had had the information. So let's remember that's what we're about. All right, we're just trying to save lives. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your feedback. All right, Chris, Autumn, come say bye-bye. They're going to come get in bed. This is the Bleeding Kansas headquarters. All right, we love you guys. Autumn, say bye-bye. Autumn, do you see yourself in there? Do you see your picture? She's not going to look. All right, love you guys. Oh, there she is. Autumn, do you see yourself? Can you say bye-bye to the people? Say thank you for helping me. Nope. No, that's not going to happen. All right,
guys. Thank you.
Bye. Good night, guys.